Hello, friends. Spring has sprung. And you know what that means. Spring cleaning. I've gotten pretty sick of looking at an overflowing closet. It has become incredibly difficult and ridiculously inconvenient to wrestle an outfit together every morning, and my day-to-day style has changed a lot over the last year as well, so it's time for some stuff to go. I pulled everything off of my garment rack and took everything out of my dresser and piled it all onto my bed, where I then organized it all into one of 4 boxes. One box is for the items I know for sure that I wanted to keep, one box is for the items I knew for sure that I wanted to sell or otherwise discard, and one box for items that I just wanted to put in storage for a while. My intention is to revisit that one in about 6 months and reassess. It's sort of my maybe pile. There's also another box on the floor, just out of frame, for items that I wanted to dye or alter in some way. The only garments that actually went back into my wardrobe were the pieces that I wear on a regular basis. The items in my discard box were either donated to a thrift shop or listed on my Depop. My storage box is pretty self-explanatory, and I put the box of items that I want to alter in my sewing room where I've been slowly chipping away at them. The last frost of the year isn't until mid to late April for the area that I live in, so I waited until the second half of April to really start gardening. I bought a few plants earlier on from a chain store, but I decided to get most of my actual herb and vegetable plants from a local nursery. If you watched my last gardening vlog, you might remember that I had 2 full-size strawberry plants and 2 baby plants, and since then, they have decided to take over the majority of the entire garden bed that they're in. I have not actually purchased any strawberry plants in 4 years. They're just really effective self-propagators and can easily take over entire yards if you let them. Of course, I'm not mad about this at all because I love strawberries, and the number of flowering plants that I have means I might actually get a decent amount of berries this year. That being said, there are a few plants that have sprung up outside the stone barrier, as well as in between the rocks, so I wanted to dig those up and replant them in better locations. Next to my strawberries, I planted a new lavender bush because my last one sadly didn't survive the winter, some basil and oregano, and a jalapeno plant. I'm not actually able to eat them myself because of IBS, but my husband really likes jalapenos. In the other garden bed, I planted some, at the moment, kind of sad-looking grape hyacinth, some green beans, and tomatoes. A zucchini plant takes up half the bed because it should get pretty big, assuming the incoming summer heat doesn't just immediately kill it. It gets pretty hot around here. I'll eventually get some sort of trellis for the tomatoes, but for now it's fine. I also moved some of the baby pansy plants that sprung up over the earlier part of the season so that they were in better locations. Yes? Yes? I'm growing my natural hair color out, and it's getting to that point. Sir and/or ma'am? Miss, you're not allowed in here. You know that. I'm safe, I promise. I promise, you don't need to be in here. Every time I get in this room, there's at least one cat that will be scratching at the door and wondering why I've abandoned them. I'm growing my natural hair color out, and it's getting to that point where, like, I'm really starting to wonder if my next haircut is gonna make me look like a Backstreet Boy or not. Or was Justin Timberlake was in NSYNC, wasn't he? I have to admit that I have never actually seen this hair color on me before. I started bleaching my hair right when the color started to get darker, so I've never actually worn my natural hair color ever. I started bleaching my hair because when the color started to get darker, like I used to be like a super pale blonde naturally when I was younger and when I was like a kid and a teenager. But then when I was in my early 20s, it started to obviously get darker because that's usually what happens to natural blondes. And it became like the color of literal dirty dishwater. Like, I know dishwater blonde is a common phrase, but like literally it looked like dirty dishwater. And I was like, my hair just looks permanently greasy even when it's not, because that's just literally the color of it. So I started bleaching my hair back to my original natural hair color because I hated it. I couldn't stand looking at my hair. It has gotten much darker since then, and now I think I'm like properly a brunette. So I'm like, I don't know, I should at least know what my natural hair color is, right? So now I've decided to, first of all, give my hair a break from bleaching it so often. In order to get it to like the super pale, like platinum blonde that I've been wearing, I have to bleach it twice and then tone it twice because my hair is really stubborn. I also use a really mild developer. I could probably use a stronger developer, but I'm also terrified that my hair is just going to fall out because it's really fine. And I'm afraid that if I use a stronger developer on it, then it will just sizzle. That would probably be a bad idea. I don't know. Is that worse than bleaching it twice consecutively? I don't know. So this has just been a very long-winded way of saying that I'm growing out my natural hair color in order to give it a break, and also because I've never seen my natural hair color. And to be quite honest, I don't know if I like it. I don't think I like my natural hair color. I think I want to dye it. But I also I would probably dye it darker. I just I'm having a hair crisis apparently. But I am glad that I've let my hair, you know, relax. Maybe once my hair is all one color again, I won't feel so weird about it. But the natural growth is at least a little over halfway down the length of the hair. It's also been a few weeks since I got a haircut last, so I don't know how long it'll be before I actually get another haircut because, again, I don't want to have like 90s frosted tips. That would look really awkward, I think. I don't know. I'm rambling. I need to go on a walk because if I don't walk like a mile a day, at least most days, then I go a little bit out of my noggin and it's not good. Yeah, I need to stop staring at my hair now. Alright friends, that's all for today. I hope everybody enjoyed this nice peaceful vlog, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!